Our family lives in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Kansas. Life here is simple, and our family routines are just like any other. My 10-year-old daughter, Emma, spends her days painting, listening to worship music, and playing with our dog, Max. She's bright, imaginative, and full of life. But 6 months ago, everything changed. Emma started having dreams, vivid, unsettling dreams that felt too real to ignore. At first, I thought they were just the product of a child's active imagination, but as the details unfolded, I realized these dreams carried something far deeper. A message. One night, Emma woke up crying. I rushed to her room, finding her curled up under her blanket, trembling. She clung to me as she tried to explain her dream. "I saw so many people, Dad," she began. "It was a huge crowd, and they were all looking at this man. He was old, wearing a white robe, and everyone was cheering for him like he was a hero." Emma described the man as having a kind, almost grandfatherly appearance. But as he raised his hands to address the crowd, his demeanor shifted. His eyes turned black, so black that Emma said it felt like they were swallowing the light. Then he spoke in a deep, booming voice. "I am your shepherd. Follow me, and you will be saved." As the crowd erupted in applause, Emma felt something was wrong. Suddenly the ground began to shake, and a massive crack opened beneath the man. Flames shot up from the earth, but he stood there completely unscathed, smiling. He then turned and walked toward Emma, his gaze piercing straight through her. That's when she woke up, drenched in sweat. Her story sent chills down my spine. It reminded me of the warnings in Revelation 13:13-14. It performs great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in front of people. And by the signs it is allowed to work, it deceives those who dwell on earth. I told myself it was just a bad dream, but deep down I felt there was more to it. The next night, Emma had another dream, one even more vivid than the first. She described a grand cathedral, unlike anything she'd ever seen. The walls were adorned with golden statues, and the stained glass windows glowed with vibrant colors. At first, Emma said the place felt peaceful, but as she looked closer, she noticed something strange. "The people weren't praying to Jesus, Dad," she said, her voice shaking. "They were bowing to the man from my first dream." She described him sitting on a massive golden throne, holding a staff with a carved lamb at the top. The lamb appeared to be bleeding. The man spoke again, his voice echoing through the cathedral. "Bow before me, for I have built the temple of the new covenant." As the people bowed, they began to vanish, disappearing into thin air. Emma felt a deep sense of dread. "It didn't feel like they went to heaven," she whispered. "It felt like they were erased." This dream brought to mind Revelation 13:8. "And all who dwell on earth will worship it, everyone whose name has not been written in the book of life." A few nights later, Emma described another dream. This time she was in a bustling marketplace filled with people. But something was off. Everyone had a glowing mark on their foreheads or wrists. The symbol looked like a twisted cross, distorted and unsettling. Emma noticed that the people with the mark could move freely, buying and selling whatever they wanted. But those without the mark were stopped at checkpoints, dragged away by shadowy figures in black robes. As Emma watched, the man from her previous dreams appeared again, standing alongside political and business leaders she had seen on TV. Together they declared, "This mark is a symbol of unity, peace, and progress. Accept it, and you will prosper." Emma said the mark seemed to glow unnaturally, almost as if it were alive. She felt sick to her stomach just looking at it. "I knew it wasn't from God, Dad," she said. "It was something evil." Her words reminded me of Revelation 13:16-17. "It causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has the mark." Emma's last dream was the most powerful and terrifying. She described standing on a hill, overlooking a massive battlefield. On one side was the man from her dreams, leading an army of shadowy creatures with wings like serpents. Their eyes burned red, and their bodies glistened as if covered in oil. On the other side were people holding crosses and banners with Bible verses. They were outnumbered and exhausted, but they stood firm, refusing to bow. As the battle raged on, Emma saw the sky open up. A figure on a white horse descended, his presence radiating light. Emma knew instantly who it was. "It was Jesus," she said, her eyes wide. "I didn't have to ask. I just knew." With a single swing of his sword, the darkness was swept away, and the battlefield was flooded with light. Emma woke up feeling a sense of peace she had never known before. Her dream echoed, Revelation 19:11-13. "Then I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse. The one sitting on it is called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he judges and makes war." Emma's dreams changed everything for us. They weren't just dreams, they felt like warnings, reminders to stay grounded in our faith. Emma started spending more time praying and writing Bible verses on sticky notes, leaving them around the house. One of her favorites was 2 Timothy 1:7. "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." Our family began praying together every night, reading the Bible and reflecting on what truly matters. These dreams weren't meant to scare us. They were meant to prepare us, to remind us to stay watchful and faithful. If you're hearing this story, I urge you to pray, stay close to Jesus, and be ready for whatever comes next. As Emma reminded me, Jesus wins in the end, doesn't he, Dad? Yes, he does. And that's the hope we hold on to.